You remember it in the feeling. Will still always remember pumping the brakes and looking sideways and seeing the train. I will always remember the memories of the different things that happened to me. But I don't allow that emotional part to control me or to manipulate me anymore. My ability to write is absolutely essential. I have taught myself that if something's really important, I need to write it down. Now, I have a habit of losing the pieces of paper, but that's beside the point. In my head, I'm categorizing things of what's really important, what's not really important, what's absolutely critical right now, or what can wait. And that's how I do things. My memory is pretty good long term, but not so with it short term because I have a brain injury. Friday, March the 13th, 1992, at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My car went across the train track at the same time the train came, and I had always stopped at the train track, even if nothing was coming, but the road hadn't been sanded that day, and I was coming back from town from paying a phone bill, and my car skidded across the train track at the same time as the train came, and it ricocheted, it played ping pong with the train, so the train hit a total of 5 times, and then it went back to the box that should have held the arms. The arms weren't in place, and it went from the box that should have held the arms right across the road into the field. And so my car, which was only a Mustang, and it had to be my Mustang, that was my dream car, I had for a total of 5 days. And don't even remember driving it really. And it was all mushed up. The only thing that was still in one piece was the driver's seat. And that's where I was sitting. And I had no broken bones, but I have a very severe brain injury. On the way to the hospital, halfway there, I went into a coma. Then they were going to put me in an ambulance helicopter, and the doctor, I guess, rushed out and said, "No, no, no," because being in a helicopter when you have a very severe brain injury would have, my brain wouldn't have been able to handle it, and it would have killed me. It was my youngest that said to the doctors afterwards that they predicted that I would be a vegetable sitting off into space, staring off into space, sitting in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And my youngest one kept on saying, "You don't know my mom." And I've only been in a wheelchair for the past 10 years, and my accident happened 27 years ago. When I was in a coma, I was dreaming, which I don't think is really a dream, and that was that I was up in heaven, and it was Jesus that told me that I had the accident. That's why I never asked anybody about an accident. And he said, "You've gone through enough in your life, and now this is what happened, and now you're staying here." And I got up and I had this argument with Jesus back and forth. And I stood up and I grabbed hold of him by the shirt collar because he had a shirt on. And I grabbed it by the shirt collar, and my hand still remembers the movement. And I went like this, and I said, I am going home. And he said, fine, go home, but you have to take it slow and easy. And then I woke up, and it's like, okay, I didn't mean that slow and easy. I went through all this stuff, and it was layered upon layered upon layered of different traumas going on all at the same time. And here I've got to get better. And so I believe that Jesus knew I'd have to be fighting mad when I woke up from that coma in order for me to make it through and do what I've done. I mean, since I've had the accident, I've got 3 of the 4 kids back. I got I was on the board of directors for the YWCA for our space and for community living, for not the main community living, but for People First. And I've taught watercolor painting. I've done more, much better writing than I've ever done in my life. And I've done this with a very severe brain injury. And I'm really, really glad that I didn't have any of my kids or anybody else in the vehicle with me, because they would not have survived. Every last bit of that car was crunched and crunched, both ends, and in the middle were like sandwiched. So that that's what I said, the only piece of the car that was still in one piece was the driver's seat. In fact, from what my dad tells me, is the car itself was sandwiched in half, like it was broke apart. I have tried to forget memories, but that doesn't work. All that does is empower those memories to be bigger than life, and then they have control over me, and I take the control back from those memories by dealing with those memories, putting them in its place. You need to let go of the memories in the sense of that they're suffocating you. Okay, you don't want to erase them, but you want to let go of the hold they have on you, and then you give that bundle of negative energy up to God. Say, here, you deal with this, and then you learn to deal with that and put it in perspective, because you'll never get rid of the memories entirely. My body remembered the accident. Like my mind remembered the accident. My body remembered some of it, but my body has refused to allow me to remember the emotional part, the terrified part, that that part. It's gone. Will still always remember pumping the brakes and looking sideways and seeing the train. You remember in the feeling.